Well, hello everybody. It's a little bit light tonight. Hopefully others will join us as we're moving along. Uh, I don't really have any announcements tonight for once. It's been, of course, you guys have had me on ice here for a while. I just got back 2 days ago from Mexico after being gone for on the road for a little over 3 weeks straight between Kenya and Mexico doing these I missions. Very successful missions. But I'm tired. I'm tired of
Huh.
traveling. And unfortunately, tomorrow I start traveling again for the next 3 days for I head to Kalamazoo for the Great Lakes Rotary Pels, it's called now. I don't know if I'll get used to that, but instead of pets. But anyway, uh, rumor has it that an RI president coming up in the next one or two is going to change it back to the pet's name, and so we'll see what happens. So anyway, um, tonight I'm thrilled that we have our speaker Eric Johnson here with us. I met Eric on our club motorcycle ride that Tom Dines led a year ago in the uh, well the near the Tampa, Florida area. And Eric is a Rotarian there. He started his club, his current club, a couple of years back. And so he's gone through some of the same things we've gone through, and he's got quite a success that's gone there as well. Unbeknownst to me, he was in the planning evidently during that time, or the thoughts during that time of maybe becoming a district governor, and here he is now a governor nominee or governor nominee designate. Which is it,
Designate.
Eric? Designate.
Designate.
So
Yeah.
he'll be a governor in a couple of years down in his district. We had a great time riding with Eric and his wife, and they ride a Harley, but that's okay. And Eric does some great stuff in Rotary as well. So, we've had these speakers about motorcycling and such, and I've left it up to Eric what he wants to talk about, but I've invited him along as a motivation for our club, and we've done those motivational speeches once a week or once a month here as well. So we've had some great Rotarians in the past, and I'm looking forward to this one tonight. Eric?
Cool. Well, you got me able to talk about the three things I love the most in life is motorcycling, Rotary, and Honduras. So that's amazing. Thanks for the opportunity. Yeah, and at the time when I met Jerry, the district governor thing was not even in the back of my head. I had a buddy of mine who kept saying, "Come on, put your name in." But I just got done with 2 years of starting my club, and I wanted to, like probably most of us, just wanted to sit on the sidelines for a little bit. And sure enough, that didn't happen. So just, got thrown right into the mix, and I'm looking forward to that. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But um, yeah, so I got to meet a couple of you guys. Yeah, but was it a year ago? That's crazy.
It
A
was a year ago,
year ago?
earlier this month. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So, because I knew that my time starting my club and continuing that was kind of coming to an end. And I was like, I've always wanted to get involved I've always heard about these fellowships, and okay, I'm passionate about motorcycles. Let me find this thing. And so through a bunch of reaching outs, finally got in touch with Jerry and got to meet a bunch of you guys and ride. And hopefully that won't be the last time that I do it too. But so I started Rotary in 2011, and I had just started a new job about an hour away from where I live. And because God kind of just dropped this opportunity in my lap, and I took it, and and I was supposed to get out in the community and network. And I was just get out and shake hands and start meeting people and all that stuff. And one of the events that I went to, somebody was, well, at the time, I didn't know what a chamber was. I didn't know what networking was. I didn't know what ribbon cuttings were. I had spent my pretty much my life in the nonprofit area of things, and I had heard about Rotary, but I wasn't really that familiar. And one day somebody said, "Hey, you should go to Rotary. It's a great way to network." And I was like, "Okay." So I walked into my club, and about maybe that week or the following week when I went again, I was like, this is way more than networking. Like I can align with this and everything this club is doing, and it's I really connected, and that club at the time was there was probably around 20 25 members in it. And when I joined it shortly after, the president that came in really wanted to start growing it, and he was a really enthusiastic guy. He took it up to about 50, and then a couple years after, of course, it's typical one of those things where you're a brand new Rotarian and then you're president in 2.5 years, right? Because you're always looking for the fresh blood. So when I was president the first time of my club in Wesley Chapel, I grew it about 45 people in the year that I was president, and was a member of that club, and then got to be president again, not by election, but by the current president stepping down in the club. And so I got to kind of re-engage into the club in that leadership role. And then COVID hit, and my job, I got furloughed, so I wasn't going to be driving an hour just to stay connected in my club. So I actually dropped out of Rotary for a couple of years because I was like, I got to look for an opportunity where I live. I always said, if I'm going to get back into Rotary, I want it to be in my backyard where I live and play and I know people. I don't want to be connected in a community an hour away and then have to drive home. I want everything to be in the same area. So a good buddy of mine that I actually got in the Rotary, who got in the district governor line. He was always like, "Come on, you got to get back into Rotary. Come on, you got to get back in." I was like, "I know, I want to. It's not the right time yet. None of the clubs around here, I really want to get connected with because they're either, they're not doing much. They're small. They're morning. There was one club that was a possibility, and I went and visited that a couple times, but I wasn't engaging in it. And then one day he's like, "Well, why don't you start a club?" And I was like, no, I'm not. No, I was like, I know what that's going to take, and I know how I would want to start a club. And sure enough, a month later, hey, come on, when you starting that club? And so it just so happened that there was a club in my district that was going to be merging. So we had a charter that the district didn't want to give up. So they said, you can take this charter. You don't need to start with 25 people. You can start with 3. You have the charter, it's yours. And I was like, started talking to my wife about it. And I was like, all right, you know what? I love Rotary. I love Safety Harbor. Let's try to pursue this a little bit. And we just started reaching out to some friends and saying, hey, this is what Rotary is. Is this something that you'd be interested in doing? And about that time, it was kind of coming out of COVID, and lots of people had moved to Florida. So lots of people are looking for the opportunity to connect in their community, get to know different people, get to know charities, because all the charities, again, they'd shut down. So now it was like Rotary was ripe for this awakening to happen, especially what happened in Safety Harbor here. So just started spreading the news. My wife and I, she's really good at marketing. We started putting it on the Facebook pages. Hey, this is what we're going to do. Here's the opportunity. A nice, exciting thing is going to happen. We started walking up our main street, handing out flyers. Hey, you want to get connected in the community? What we did was we wanted to hit business people, the lunch crowd. So say you're going to go have lunch anyways, right? You're going to leave your office, go have lunch, come hang out and have lunch with a bunch of great people in the community. So we said, we're going to do Wednesdays at noon. I feel like that's a pretty successful time to have a club meeting. And the first day we had 65 people that came to the meeting, the first meeting that we had. Now, about 20 of those people were district support people, some past district governors, some area governors, some other people from different clubs. They had heard about what we're doing. They wanted to kind of see, because we really marketed it for probably about a good month and a half, maybe 2 months. Hey, this is what we're doing. This is when it's going to start. So we had 45 people in there that had no idea what Rotary was. Just fresh. They just moved to the area, wanted to connect. And so we just started the meetings every Wednesday going from there, and tons of guests were there. But the idea that I had right from the start was that because I had led a successful club. You know, in the year that I was president first time, brought our club up to 100 people. So I knew what the excitement and everything that had to happen to keep members engaged. And I said, when we design our club meeting, it's gonna all be about the guest experience. So that when that guest leaves that meeting, they know exactly what Rotary is, they know exactly what we're doing in the community, and they know who they're going to connect with. And I came up with our little slogan that I said in every meeting: we're going to connect, engage, and grow you. We're going to connect you to an awesome community. We're going to engage you with amazing members, and we're going to grow you as a leader, because you guys know, if you let it, Rotary will grow you as a leader. So connect, engage, and grow. That was our mantra that we went with. And so we really designed our meeting in a guest experience. We never talked about committee things that were happening. We never talked about, okay, you're going to serve this and you're going to serve that. It was all just excitement. We started doing a selfie time in our meeting, because even the most old curmudgeon Rotarian loves to get a selfie taken with a beautiful girl next to him, right? So we started doing selfies every meeting, and right in the meetings, post your selfie to the social media. So every Wednesday, people on social media starting to see what's going on. What are you doing? Every Wednesday, I see you smiling and around a bunch of fun people, and you're doing things, and now you're serving. And then what we did was we said, okay, we're gonna do 10 opportunities a month for each member to engage in the community. We got 4 meetings. We did a social every other Thursday night. Didn't matter where it was, people knew that every other Thursday night, somewhere in Safety Harbor, there was going to be a social going on. And then we had 4 opportunities to serve in the month. And they were just small little touches of service. 5 people to go to the homeless shelter, 3 people to go cook food for this, you know, 10 people to go do the road cleanup. Just little touches, not these huge things. And it just took off, and we were amazed. And in our first year, we grew to 62 full paying members in our club. And we had like the RI directors calling me up. What are you guys doing down there? We see your numbers just exploding. You're the second fastest growing Rotary club in the world. What are you doing down there at Little Safety Harbor? We're just giving people the opportunity to serve. We're giving the opportunity for people to connect with amazing people. And we're letting them know that they matter, and we're just creating an exciting experience that people want to be at. And so even today, so we've been 2.5 years, we've lost a few people because of, moving away and stuff like that, but we're still at 55 members. And we just inducted another one. So, we're still a good, healthy club. And it's been amazing to see the relationships. And then, of course, we had the hurricanes hit us down here. As Keith, you're familiar with what happened, last 6-8 months ago. That took a big hit. We had to cancel a bunch of meetings, but our club really stepped up, and we got involved with Disaster Aid USA. Not sure if you guys have heard about that, but great Rotarian-run organization with disaster response. And we had a ton of our people out there just helping people. My wife and I did about 2 months straight, almost every day. Well, we had a Honduras trip in the middle of that, but just out there meeting people, helping people, doing what Rotary does, right? So we were just very intentional with how we ran the meetings and what we did in that meetings. People like to see their faces on the screen, right? So we were very good at our presentation of the meeting. We always had what we've done in the past, what we're doing in the future, and here's the events that you can connect in. So again, when we have guests, they walk away knowing, wow, can I come to that? I want to start doing that. I want to start getting involved with your club. And, everybody gets up and we stand up. And so what we did was, that meeting is for the member. That Wednesday meeting is for the guest experience. And then where do the members connect? In the socials and in the serving opportunities that we do. So, we still highly encourage, bring a guest, bring a guest, bring a guest. Because if we don't bring guests, what's going to happen? People move away, and then you go down to 50 members, and then you go down to 45 members, and then people can't afford it, and then you're down to 40. So Rotary just, starts to die. So I'm a huge membership proponent. I think that, clubs around the world just, we just had our pets training a couple weeks ago. I had to go because now I'm in the DGND line. And, the incoming president from Brazil, Mario, I forget his last name, just threw up numbers on the board. He was pretty frank with his assessment of where Rotary's at. The only place that Rotary is growing right now is in Asia. Everywhere else, the UK, they're down like 60,000 members in the past few years. The United States is down 30,000 members over the past few years. So, if clubs don't wake up and get out of their comfort zone and start doing things different, it's Rotary's just going to keep, we're down, they always say 1.2 million members. We've heard that for 20 years now. We're under that now. Mario's like, we're down to like 1.1 million members. So I know you guys are in different clubs. Man, just go and encourage your clubs to start inviting people. One of the things that I do when I go do membership talks, I bring sticky notes. You guys are in different clubs? Anybody in different clubs? Not just your club here. So bring a sticky note, give each member two sticky notes, have them write their name on the top, and then have them write 3 names of someone that they can invite to the meeting the next week. And then you take those sticky notes or give them to your club president or your membership chair and say, hey, Mike said he was going to invite Tom, Jill, and Harry. Make sure they invite them next week. And then you're holding people to it. You're holding them accountable to the name they wrote down. Because if they write something down, it kind of sticks in their head. And again, this person, I as the person, keep my card of the names I wrote down. And then you as the membership, you keep this sticky note. And that's the names that you're going to call that person and say, hey, did you invite Jill yet to the meeting? Invite her this week. There's just so many little things we can do to grow Rotary. If I took a club and had 62, and so 58 of those Rotarians were brand new to Rotary, had no idea what Rotary was in 1 year, clubs around the country can grow 5, 10 members. It's not that easy. It's so simple. You just gotta make the ask. You just got to get out there and encourage people to, invite people to Rotary. So that's cool. I always get excited when I share about that. You could see that I started tearing up because, Rotary is one of the greatest opportunities in the world for people to connect with. And why is it not growing? I don't know why. It's unbelievable because we get lazy. So we just step it up one notch. Rotary, your districts could grow by 100 people, by 200 people. If everybody invited somebody and 20% of those people join Rotary, your district would grow by 200 people in a year. It's just math. It's so simple. So one of the things that I got involved in was a Honduras trip, and I know I'm preaching to the choir with Jerry on this because every time I see Jerry's Facebook page, he's somewhere else around the world. It's crazy. And actually, Jerry, I have you written down at one of my notes because in my year as DGND, I want to do a few trips and encourage my district to get involved with um, humanitarian trips around the world because I really feel that if every Rotarian got involved with an overseas project, then that's one of the ways Rotary would grow. Because too many times we sit in our little bubble of our little hometown, of our little club, and we think the whole world is like our Rotary Club. Well, it's not. There's a whole other world out there of how people live their life. And if you can go on a humanitarian trip and you can go with Jerry and do an eye project, or you can go down and learn Spanish for a week with them down in Guatemala, man, you're gonna blow your head away. You're gonna be so amazed at, whoa, people eat differently, people smell differently, people talk differently. So I got a bunch of things that I'm thinking about doing in my year, Jerry, and I'll connect with you later. But Honduras is one of those things I wanted to throw out to you guys because I got involved with it's called Pure Water for the World. We do a Honduras water project, and I just finished my 14th trip down there. It got shoved around a little bit because of COVID. We had to cancel it for a couple of years, and but we just kind of ramped it back up. Did my 14th trip back in October. So I'm planning right now the 15th trip in October of this year, and we do a water project. We build latrines. We work on we put water filters into homes. And one of the great things I love about the charity that is doing this, we go where the big charities don't go. The charity water won't even go to the community we go to because it's 4 hours up into the mountains. It's 2 hours from the community that we live in. And they just want to do the easy projects that they can bring people to come see what we're doing, let's raise some money. This charity, Pure Water, it's now called Pure Water Honduras. Man, we get in the trucks and we 2 hours up in the mountain, hike from home to home, install water filters, and then come back at the end of the day and just talk about the experience. And then we do it again. And then we go 2 hours up and we spend a day working at a school, spending time with the kids, the teachers, bringing them some teaching supplies. And then we do a little bit of sightseeing and stuff like that. But again, if you guys haven't been on a trip, um, do it. Join Jerry. Reach out to me for some information on my trip. Love to have you guys go because have you guys been on an international trip? I know Jerry has. Keith, you're what, an hour and a half from me? Come to Honduras with me. You'd love it. Calling you out right now. And people are always, sometimes they're always worried about raising money. Yeah, oh, how am I going to afford that? The money is the easiest part. That's what I always tell people. Because we all have three T's, right? We have our time, our talent, and our treasure. There's many times in Rotary when we don't have our treasure to give, so we give our time. Or we don't have time to give, but we have once a month where we can join a committee and we can give our treasure, what we're talented at, our talent, what we're talented at. So and everybody else has three T's too. So there's a lot of people that can't physically do trips, but they want to give their treasure for you to go on a trip. That's why I tell people all the time, don't let the money scare you. We just need you. We just need your time for a week. But yeah, has changed a bunch of people's lives. Like I said, I love taking Rotarians who have never been on a trip before because they come back a different person and they can talk about Rotary in a different way. When you experience Rotary in that international perspective, man, it'll charge you up again what Rotary is. So, and then, yeah, I guess, Jerry said, talk about the district governor nominee designate thing. I never thought when I joined Rotary that I'd be in this position of the district governor line, but, when you go to these conventions and district things and pets things, one of the things that, some of the upper leadership say, just don't say no. Just don't say no. Just say yes to Rotary. And I kept saying yes. And now I guess here I am in line to be district governor. And it scares me, honestly. I'm like, am I organized enough? I know I'm passionate enough. I know I can motivate a bunch of people, but man, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, as Jerry can tell you. When were you district governor, Jerry?
I was governor in 06, 07. I was pretty young at the time. I was 48 years old.
Yeah,
Uh, they
nice.
bugged me for 4 years before I said maybe. I said no for 4 years. Then I said maybe, and then they didn't let it go.
Yeah,
And then a month later, I was in the same situation as you.
yeah. It's funny. And I'm just like, I know I'm going to meet amazing people. I know that like, once again, Rotary is going to push me into elements and, get me out of my comfort zone and a lot of things. And so that I'm excited about that. And, one of the things I was excited about with Rotary, I just spent a bunch of time grilling you about membership, but at the pets training I was at for all Florida pets, there's 8 districts, there's 530 Rotary clubs. So we had 500 presidents there, PEs coming into their year. And there were some young people and there was a lot of women, young women. So I was like, you know what? I'm really encouraged by that because the younger generation, they're still getting it. they're still getting it. They still want to be involved in things, and they're giving their hearts and giving their lives for a year and getting into that. So that was pretty good. There's Rotary still has a lot of opportunities to grow, but it just takes us getting out there and making the effort to think about it. What happens is when people leave their meetings, you forget about Rotary. You get on with your life. Oh, my kid's got baseball practice. Oh, someone just quit at work. Now I got to work extra hours and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden, Thursday morning comes back. Oh, crap, I got Rotary this morning. So that week has gone by where you haven't thought about Rotary. You haven't thought about who can I invite? Where can I go serve? Um, you know, what can I get involved in? What's the next project we can do? If there was a way every Rotarian could think about Rotary a minute of every day, Rotary would grow because you'd think about who could I invite? How could I get more involved in my club? So that's one of the things that some of the times when I do membership tops, I bring little red dots and I put a red dot on everybody's phone in the meeting. I actually take your phones out. I'm going to put a red dot on your phone. And what's that red dot? That red dot is your reminder because everybody brings their phone everywhere they go, right? So every time you pick up your phone, you see that red dot. Oh, that's my, who am I going to invite reminder? So again, that's another little tip that I do in my membership talks to clubs. So yeah, I'm looking forward to, in my year as district governor to, well, you always got to focus on membership and foundation. That's the two things they want you to focus on. But my district's going to grow. I'm already setting my big, hairy, audacious goals with membership that I want to achieve. And then I want to get my district doing something with Jerry, doing an eye project. So,
We
but
got to talk about membership too, then when you and I are offline there somewhere.
yeah,
So
definitely for sure.
our district right now is somewhere around 1,300 members or 13 or 1,400. It
Okay.
went from just under 2,000 to just over 2,100 when I was governor. So,
There you go. You
and
grew
so
it.
I have some thoughts.
Mhm.
I have some thoughts, and to me, membership's everything. All the rest of it comes afterwards.
Yeah,
All everything.
exactly.
The foundation, if you get hit membership, you hit it right here. Okay.
Yep.
Right here or right here, and some people, whatever. You hit it
Yep.
right there, the pocketbook's connected to both.
Hmm.
You don't have to worry about selling the foundation or any of that stuff. You sell
Right.
membership, you sell the
Yeah.
heart. So
Yep.
cool. Yeah, very cool. So how big's your district there, Eric?
1780 is what we got right now.
How many clubs?
50 clubs.
50 clubs.
Yeah.
Cool.
50
50
clubs.
clubs. How many of
Um,
those clubs are under 10 years old?
I would say in the last 10 years, they've probably started 15 clubs down here.
Oh, that's a lot of clubs to
Yeah,
start.
they've been starting more. We just started one a couple weeks ago, Tierra Verde, which is down by St. Pete. Um, and yeah, so our district tries to, there's talk of another club starting. Um, but there's
Cool.
also talk, we got one club in our district that has like 5 members in it. To me, that's not a Rotary club. To me, that, they got to get some kind of juice in their club to get going, or they're going to be folding soon. That's upsetting, and that, so
Your your wife's a Rotarian too. Who
so
started
she
who started
was.
well, she's not right now?
No, what happened was about a year, little over a year into starting our club, her sister passed away in a car accident, and that just kind of took her out of everything. And that's the niece and nephew that we hear earlier, their spring break. So she spends a lot of time with them. And so,
Gotcha.
she had to drop out of Rotary, but she's at a lot of Rotary events and, she's supporting my time in Rotary. So she'll get back
So
in it one day when she kind of, when the kids get a little older and they're not relying on her so much.
so take a few minutes, tell us about your motorcycle habit.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't talk about that. My, so y'all remember your first ride on a bike, right? My brother bought a bike when I was like probably 19 years old. He was younger, 3 years younger than me, so he was 16. had dirt bikes, did his whole thing. I never went on his dirt bikes. And I was in college and I came home for spring break and I was like, "You're stupid. You're gonna die on that bike. What the la la la." And we were up in Massachusetts where it's a lot safer than Florida to ride, right, Keith? Um, so my brother's like, "Come on, just try it." I was like, "I don't know how to ride a bike. I know how to, I have no idea." He's like, "Just do this, do this, do this." Well, we lived down at the time a dirt road, and it was probably like a quarter mile long. I didn't have my motorcycle license or anything like that. So I'm like, "All right, I'll try it," because he kept bugging me. And it was a sport bike too. So I got on the sport bike. I probably didn't even get out of second gear, 15 miles an hour. Came back. I was like, "Holy crap, that is awesome." Came home that summer. Guy in my church was like, "Yeah, I got an old bike sitting out back. I'll sell it to you $100." And then I saved up money, put like $1,000 into it, got new tires changed, paint job, new muffler, fixed it up. And that was my first bike. It was a 83 Suzuki GS 750. And then kind of my whole family rode. My brother owned a dealership up because he eventually owned the dealership. But the Harley that I have now is my first Harley that I ever had, because I always had Yamahas and Hondas and stuff, because I was like, I got to support my brother and Hondas and have what he has. So he sold his dealership, and I was like, oh, that frees me up to do whatever I want now. I can get a Harley but I'm a lot older now too, so I don't think my back can handle those sport bikes anymore. But so yeah, my wife and I ride. We're heading up in a couple weeks to Virginia to with my sister and brother-in-law. We like to ride with them. They live up there. We're gonna get on Roanoke on the Parkway and shoot up north to Skyline Drive and do that for the weekend, because the last couple of years we've done North Carolina a bunch. So I haven't been on the Parkway up there in years. That's where I learned how to ride, was at college in Virginia on the Parkway. I get out of class, be a little bit stressed as you can be as a 19, 20-year-old, and I'd just go up on that Parkway and forget about life on my motorcycle.
You
So,
were on the north end of the Blue Ridge Parkway then, huh?
oh, because I went to school in Virginia, right near, I was 20 minutes from the Parkway. So I
Oh
rode
yeah.
the Parkway a bunch. Yeah.
What a great way to start.
Girls I liked, "Hey, can I take you to the Parkway?"
So did you go to Tech?
I went to Liberty University
Oh,
in
okay. Yeah.
Lynchburg, Virginia.
Lynchburg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Know it well.
Oh,
Actually, I'm in Punta Gorda right now, but I'm a snowbird. I live
oh,
in
nice.
Virginia. I
You,
live down in Virginia Beach.
oh,
That right down in
cool.
that little creek they call the Atlantic.
Okay.
So yeah,
Nice.
that's my stomping grounds up there.
Yeah, it's great riding up there out west. Yeah. And I quickly learned in college that if you walk around with a motorcycle helmet, you get girls' numbers thrown at you. "When you gonna take me for a ride? When you gonna take me for a ride?" So,
As long as they're not nurses.
I never dated a nurse.
When I first started writing again, actually my wife and I a week later started dating, and our first driving date was on that motorcycle I bought in college. But I was dating these two nurses at the time, and both of them said, if you worked in that hospital one day, you'd never get back on that motorcycle. And I
Yep.
said, you guys smoke? And they go, yeah, so?
Yep.
So I guess it's just a matter if it kills you fast or kills you slow. Makes a
Yep.
difference.
Exactly.
So
Yeah. So
far, the motorcycles
my wife and
killed
I
me
ride.
slow.
My wife and I ride a lot now, but we live in the Clearwater area. It's a little crazy around here, so I gotta get on my bike and get about 45 minutes north, and then I get into some decent roads. Actually, for Florida, you'd think you weren't in Florida. It gets a little bit hilly up around Dade City, the center of the state. But
Cool.
great. Hey, JR.
JR is new to the group here.
Oh, I get
Hi,
to I get to do
Hi,
my speech
JR.
again.
how's it going, guys? Sorry I'm late.
Where are you from, JR?
Knoxville, Tennessee area.
How did we connect with you?
Well, let's see. I got the email. I don't know. I've been a member for, I want to say 2 years, I think. Um, but I haven't really been involved in any of the events yet. So I got the email. What was that, like 2 weeks ago? I want to say.
Oh,
Mhm.
from the IFMR group.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we get confused all the time. All of our members of our club are members of IFMR. Okay.
Okay.
And we invite the IFMR group to join us as much as they want to in the club. Um,
Okay.
so we're a regular Rotary club as well. About half of
Oh,
our
nice.
members belong to just this club, and about the other half of the members are members of other clubs that we allow to participate with us as well as associates. And so you're welcome to be here. We're glad to have you. So
All right. Well, yeah.
we're on the
Thanks for having me.
downside right now. Right now we have once a month. We usually have a good motorcycle type speaker, and then once a month we have somebody motivational and Rotary. And tonight we had Eric with us, who's a bit well, mostly motivational, but he rides a motorcycle too. So that's pretty cool. So so we're on the
Had a call
downside of
coming
this.
in. I just missed everything you were saying. I apologize.
But you know what? We record it all, and if you text me your link, I'll text you a link to the recording if you can go back and watch if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the number?
Well, just text in the chat there, hit chat and give me your
Oh,
email,
okay.
and I'll follow that up with you right after the meeting here.
All right.
So, Eric, I don't think you've ridden with anybody on here.
No, I
So
remember
let me-
Bruce was with us when we did that
we
ride.
had Tom Dine, we had let's see, I'm trying to go back.
I'd have to go back and look at
Bruce
pictures.
was with us. Yeah, Bruce and his wife were
Bruce,
with us. It
yeah.
was a light group at the time. And then there was Steve was there and somebody else. I'm trying to remember offhand right now.
Okay.
Let me write JR down here first. HERTWIG@gmail.com. And so let me give a little bit of introductions around the whole group here as well. And I'll just do it from my screen here at the top. On my left is Rory, if Rory would wave a second. Rory is probably the person I've ridden with most in the world. And one of the big reasons we started this club, Rory and I used to belong to the same club together, and he moved to the other side of the state. And so uh, this is a way for us to stay together even when we're not riding. Anyway, Rory's our treasurer. I'm at the top in my window, and I know it's different on everybody's window. Keith from Punta Gorda. Keith normally lives in Virginia, and he's down in Punta Gorda snowbirding right now. I know Punta Gorda very well. My daughter used to be the pastor there at the Presbyterian Church there for about 5 years, so I spent a lot of time down there at that time. Of course, both my granddaughters were born in that area, so they live back up here now. Let's see. Eric is in the Tampa, Florida area. Okay. And he is his talk tonight, when you go back and look at it, JR, it was about how he got started with Rotary, and then all the way up to he's the new district governor nominee designate in his district. And he's got a hot growing club. It's 3 years old now, I think it is, and done very well with that. Rob Preston. Rob is one of our associate members. He lives out there in Maryland. And Rob's and I have ridden together, and Keith as well, what, 5 or 6 times now, I think, something like that anyway. And so Rob was a regular member for our club for I think once we got started, he was there, one of the earlier members, and then just recently he converted back to the brick and mortar club. But we see him here too, which is great. And then Deb, who's not showing, she sent me a message that her camera is giving her trouble tonight.
My
Uh,
camera is causing me issues.
I've been on the phone with Deb already earlier today about something else. She's just a delight. She's all lit up right now, but she's getting up very early in the morning, hopping a plane, and gonna go have a drink with me tomorrow night at our Pels, which used to be called Pets anyway for our district training. and we'll be together tomorrow night in Kalamazoo, Michigan, as well as one of our other members who's not on, Amanda, who lives out in the Washington D.C. area as well. I live in Michigan. I'm on the east side of Michigan, just north of Detroit, out in the country. Rory lives in Michigan on the west side, over by Lake Michigan, and so I think that catches us up. JR, you said you were in North Carolina or Tennessee? Oh, you're on mute, buddy. You're on mute. We'll let you cut in as soon as you come out of mute. How's that goes on?
All right,
There you
how's
are.
that? I think I got
You
it.
got it.
Yeah, so I'm in Tennessee, Oak Ridge or Knoxville, whichever one you're more familiar with.
Okay. Very cool. Actually, first weekend of May, last weekend of May, Rory and I are heading down through that area. We're heading down to we're Little Switzerland area. We're meeting up with some friends down from Florida, or not Florida, from Georgia, North Georgia Riders Group, and we're gonna ride with them on a ride in their area. I understand that whole area is a lot different right now, and a lot of stuff closed up through the parkway down through there. So we're gonna see some of
Um,
that.
yeah. There's been a lot of things happen mostly through the North Carolina area is where you'll see the most of the change and the most of the issues that you might run into. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's whole hotels that are gone that I used to stay at down there. So
Wow.
yeah, they all ended up in Lake Lure, whatever. So
Yeah.
yep. So
That's the worst area probably.
okay. So we kind of cut in there in the middle before giving Eric a chance to anything final he wanted to share with us. He's looking at me funny. I think you got it covered then, huh? You're on mute again, Eric.
Go out there and smile at someone and share Rotary.
You got it, buddy. You got it. I'll share one thing with you. Because you just brought back the memory while you were talking. But I remember I told you I said no for 4 years before I said maybe. And
Mhm.
we had the interviews, and there was 4 people that interviewed for the process, and I figured it was going to take 2 or 3 years before they would actually settle on me because all the other ones had interviewed before. And the process used to be the district governor called the person that was selected, and the chair of the committee called all the other candidates. And I got this phone call, and I look at the phone, I'm like, no way. And I pick up the phone and I answer. I said, no effing way. And Don says, the district governor says, yep, you're it.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm like, holy cow. But it's
Yep.
been a good ride. It's been a good ride. So yeah. So and I'll share with you, Eric, that we have 5 or 6 past district governors in this club. All the other ones belong to other clubs, although one of them is out of Rotary at the moment and considering joining our club as a regular member. So we'll
Oh,
see what
cool.
happens on that. And so, yeah, I hope so. And that's the guy, for the rest of you, it's John Cram. I'm working on bringing back into Rotary as well as our club. And so, yep. Anything else to share tonight? Anybody?
I do. I'd like to share just, we talked about Eric talking about Rotary and how great it is and how it can help and benefit. A member of my Rotary club coming south to Florida last month had an accident just outside of Florence, Georgia, South Carolina, Florence, South Carolina, and his wife was killed in the accident. He was laid up. They had 2 big dogs with them. The dogs were okay, but when we heard about it, we contacted a couple of members of the Florence, South Carolina Rotary Club, and those people jumped. They got him a hotel room. They got him in with the dogs and taken care of. Brought him all kinds of food and everything while they cleared up the accident site and took care of his wife's body so that they could send it back to Virginia. And just the phenomenal response from Rotary in the Florence, South Carolina area just proves what a great organization this is and how benefit it is for everybody.
Mhm.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. Yeah, we went through well, I wasn't on the trip at the time. We had somebody that had put a bike down and got hurt and he eventually passed away years ago. But how the local people, Rotary guys, stepped in and just really took over, made sure everything was good, as well. And speaking of accidents, a little update. I'm wearing the brace yet on the knee. I put my motorcycle down in September and ended up tearing. It took till December to find out that I tore the inside ligament completely open, but it appears it's healing. The doctor looked at it today. He says I could start going without the brace and go back to any regular activity I was doing. So it appears to be healing and come along just fine. So good news. Good news. He said, go ride that bike.
Nice.
And I had to quote that to Debbie to make sure that she knew. He said, go ride that bike. So, but it helps to have a doctor that's in his 30s or something that's still still going at life, huh? Very cool. Last thing, JR, what do you do for a living there?
I'm a banker,
Banker.
loan officer. Mhm.
Cool. Very cool.
How long you been a Rotary?
I've been in Rotary, I think about 8 years now.
Nice.
Current president of my club.
Cool.
Very cool.
What do you
Really
ride?
glad. Really. Oh, what do you ride? Yeah, they're a good question.
I ride a Moto Guzzi. It's a V7 Special.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Got that classic look to it.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm still looking for that new bike that isn't in the United States, I don't think yet. At least I can't find one for sale yet. So I'm after a new Goldwing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they finally got around to announcing it in February, and I'm still struggling to find one in the United States other than in shows. So we'll see what happens.
2025? What are you looking
Yep,
for?
that's what I'm looking for. 2025. I've kind of decided to go with the red one, but we'll see. Wasn't
Still
entirely
good.
thrilled with the color choices they had, but we'll see. Got to find one first. All right, everybody. Well, let's finish with the four-way test. Actually, the five-way test. Keith, you up to it tonight?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Of the things we think, say, and do, number one, is it the truth?
The truth.
Two, is it fair to
Fair
all
to all
concerned? Three, will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Friendships.
Four, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And
And-
five, will it be fun?
You betcha.
Sir.
You betcha. All right. JR, we meet first and third Wednesdays at 7 right now. We're reconsidering some things, but nevertheless it's 7 o'clock Eastern time zone. And I will send you that link after I get the recording up and going. All right.
All right. Appreciate it.
Eric, thank you so much. Appreciate
thank
it,
you,
buddy.
guys.
Anytime you want to talk about anything for that matter, just give me a buzz.
I'll be reaching out to you.
You betcha. See you guys.
Good
guys.
night.
Looking forward to that drink tomorrow night, Deb. All right.
Yeah, no kidding, man. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Bye-bye.